told would lead us home. Our fate's unknown, but time will mend our broken bones. I've held the weight of all these years spent in decay. These times are strange. I never thought I'd see your face again. I know the feelings always fade, but nothing else could make me stay. It's not too late for us to slip away.
Hello, welcome to this week's broadcast of Esports Tower Rumble and Rocket League. We're broadcasting it from the beautiful Boys State Esports Arena. Tonight, we see who will claim our Rumble title. The Barracudas and Hammerheads kick off the night in our winners finals to see who will make it to the grand finals. As always, on these Wednesdays, I am your host, Kwame Junkin, and joining me to call all the action is Colby D'Angelo Alloway. And we had some excitement last Rumble. We started off the new week. We started off strong. We had what was still the Hammerheads being a rather strong team as well. They won it, you know, I guess technically 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago they won it. And then, or no, last week. I guess last week they won it. Last week they won it all, and they're still showing a lot of promise here. So I have to ask you, what's your team? What's your pick going in here? Nobody's eliminated yet, but who do you think is going to take it all?
So the Barracudas proved last week with the bracket reset and coming in through the entirety of the lower bracket that everybody is still in this. So it's important to look at not only the teams that have made it to the winners bracket through the grand finals, but also keep your eyes on the lower bracket and make sure you're kind of paying attention to those teams that may have gotten knocked down that are looking for a second chance. Because last week, the desire for a second chance was much more powerful than the momentum of a team that skipped right to the grand finals.
Oh, yeah, definitely go into it. Just giving a quick recap on today's competitors. Once again, no team has been eliminated yet, so we will see these teams play. All in all, the Hammerheads are the it's the Barracudas. I'm sorry, I think I said it wrong last time. It is the Barracudas that won it all last time. And we will see if they continue that winning streak they got. I think it was 8 games in a row. I think is what we called it out last time that they had played, which was an insane number.
Because so many of the rounds went into overtime, and then immediately after that you had another round that went into like 5 minutes of overtime, and then after that we had Rocket League that also went into multiple rounds of overtime. So the Barracudas definitely like wanted it, and it felt like their biggest barrier at the end was not the enemy team, but their own fatigue that they may have been facing.
And as always, some advice to you guys before we get the match started here. We just want to give you guys friendly reminder: support the team, celebrate their successes, be respectful of other fans, and always, mods will remove you for being disrespectful or not. But we had some advice for you in terms of you as a viewer. But let's give some advice to the players in the form of Doc's keys, which in Rocket League is to create mistakes, punish the overcommits, play the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Doc's keys to the game are presented by Esports Towers. Go pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure, and you'll get matches with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. And for this first matchup, we do have the Barracudas and Hammerheads. So going into it, and going straight off as well, these two teams that are supposed to be sort of our quote-unquote champions going into the Barracudas who've been rolling the competition so far, and now it's really a contest to see, is there a team that's here to stand up against them? And we're excited to get into it.
So I think the biggest thing that we're looking at in this matchup, the Barracudas versus the Hammerheads, the Barracudas, since being mixed up, they're not the same team that won it all, but they do have a couple of the key players that remained last time. The Stingrays are looking to capitalize on Barracuda double commits and triple commits, because this is something that Barracudas do relatively regularly that the Stingrays are going to be looking to exploit as we start the first 50-50, and it looks like ET State with those wheels is going to send things over straight into the waiting tires of Gababy, who's going to immediately take a shot on goal that Area is going to go ahead and at least get the save for. Ooh! Can't save the second time.
Wrong. Nearly 14 seconds into the match, and that is going to put the Barracudas up by 1 here. And this is starting off at a best of 5, and Gababy already putting a shot on net. Out State trying to get a flick over one, does indeed get it. Trying to get it past Greed, doesn't get that. Still on the sidewall looking for a pass, steals the boost, has a lot of it, looking to get a pass out mid. Gets 50 to Areas there to keep control of the ball. Still in a dangerous position for the Barracudas, but they're going to get the clear. But the State's going to pass it around and keep it sort of in the danger zone.
State's going to climb up the wall and then immediately pass it to Area down midfield, who immediately kind of sends it over to Greed. And Gababy's going to get a little bit of a clear that Sicko is actually going to stop, and ET State is demoed. That's the MVP for the Stingrays right now.
Minute elapsed in this game so far. Gababy, ball a little bit low, is going to stick with it, try and get it over Sicko, but doesn't get it. And Area gets the 50. Sicko slowing it down, but leaves it for Greed. Greed at the bang, up to Nano. Nano trying to get the redirect, but it's Gababy that gets it instead.
Just barely got that, just did the slightest touch. You could have touched that with a feather and the ball just goes sailing in. Looks like Baby's going to lose the next 50-50 to Area, but Nano's going to kind of make up for that with an aerial play, sending it right to ET State, driving on some teeth and eyeballs there as they chase Gababy down the field for possession of the ball and end up just scoring.
I believe somebody got bumped in the net for the side of the Barracudas. I didn't see who it was that got bumped or who got the bump, but somebody in net wasn't in the right positioning. I guarantee you it was.
Well, I mean, you could theoretically say that about every goal.
Yeah, theoretically, yeah, but you know, on a goal like that wasn't quite the most difficult shot to save. Oh, but here's Gababy trying to put a difficult shot on net as well.
Looks like Area's going to go up the sidewall, get a little bit of a clear. Nano just flips over wide, gets a little too excited there. Gababy currently in possession of the ball, fighting Area for it, going to climb the wall like Spider-Man, staying immediately parallel to the ball. Nano's going to pass it back, and it looks like Barracudas have some momentum to maybe score again.
Greed just get a little bit of slowdown. Getting a 50, keeps it there. Nano tried to get the cut on the ball. Didn't quite get it. Now like a baby off the sidewall, trying to get the second. Doesn't get it. State accidentally getting the smallest mistouch, and is going to put it in the back of their own net.
We're not going to talk about that. It looks like the Stingrays are kind of catching up to the Barracudas here. 3-1, 2 minutes and 48 seconds remaining. Still a lot of Rocket League play to be had. Looks like 1 goal every minute here. As Greed and Gababy are going to bounce things over. Gababy says yeet and trucks the ball all the way over to Nano. And it looks like State's going to miss the touch, but Area sure doesn't and sends that ball right in, putting the Stingrays up 2-3.
Putting the Stingrays in a scoring position. This is definitely the point where they can score the ball and definitely take advantage of the situation. The pass over to State might be there, but State taking a little bit too wide of an angle, doesn't quite get to it. Nano does get the beat. Now trying to get the second. Doesn't read the ball quite well. It goes down here. Sicko with one more touch. Trying to keep possession of the ball. Nano is there to disrupt. Now Sicko with one more touch. Gababy there with the immediate beat. And Area and State were pushed too far up.
Area couldn't pull old Yui in time, and so that goal is going to go sailing in, and it looks like the Barracudas are double the Stingrays, 4-2, as this next 50-50 is going to go the way of the Stingrays, and that's an empty net. The Area is currently approaching, but it looks like Nano's going to take possession of the ball, take it up the wall, bounce it back down for maybe Gababy or Greed to do something with, but currently, actually, it's State that looks like they set up Sicko for the goal, but unfortunately, for that side, it will be saved.
Area slowing down a little bit. Greed trying to get this disrupt. Doesn't quite get it. Now Sicko to take over. Get one touch. Looking for a second. Greed and Gababy. I'm going to put a stop to that ball in that area. Trying to keep it in the middle. Doesn't do it. Can't stay get the beat. Not able to get it. Now Gababy with a lot of free room to play with. Does get the 50, but there's no follow-up. Greed has to settle for a 50 and full boost as State is elevated. Doesn't get the touch. Now Area controls off the side, but a pass to Greed, and now Nano off the ceiling. Oh, off the backboard is Greed there. Yeah, he is.
Just dunks it right over Area. It says, haha, you can't jump, and Area is just stuck to the ground like glue, watching that ball sail over them and as their hopes and dreams are crushed. As we go to this next 50-50, that is a demo onto Gababy, giving the Stingrays a little bit of an opportunity to maybe get a clear here, but Nano's just in the back line being an absolute menace. But it doesn't matter because the ball gets cleared all the way to blue net.
Almost a shot on net, a little more left. That could have been a really dangerous goal for the Barracudas to deal with. Luckily for them, it was not on target. Now Gababy trying to beat it over State. State getting a back pass here over to Area. Area looking for one more, doesn't get it. That's a demo by Nano. Greed getting the 50. Still keeping this ball in. State having to get a little bit of pinch to the sidewall. Gababy making sure to recenter off the ceiling. Gets a pass down, and Nano not quick enough from the reflexes. They get the shot there, but Greed now off the corner. Trying to get a pass over to Nano, one soft touch, maybe a pinch. Nano up to the backboard, Gababy. Ooh, almost getting a 50 in the own orange net.
As we kind of go over there, we see State dribbling it down the field. Sicko further away to kind of see what assistance they can offer. The ball goes all the way in the air, and State is going to back up, let Area try to score, but Nano says absolutely not, as Sicko goes up into the air to kind of challenge Gababy for the ball. It looks like it's just kind of bouncing around in the corner here. State is going to take a shot that Greed is going to save and get a massive clear.
Ooh. Now looking for the react, is going to find it off the ceiling. Final last second counts down. The next time this ball touches the ground, it's over. Gababy on a mission to keep it up. Oh, the shot was there. It wasn't going to make any headway towards the goal, but the attempt was there. And the Barracudas are going to go up. I believe the end game score was 5-2. Or 5-2 was the end game score. So Barracuda is still a pretty dominant team. And I do apologize. I did say the Hammerheads at the beginning of the matchup. It was the Stingrays. That was mixed up on me. But nevertheless, the facts are the facts that Barracudas are up 1-0 in the best of 5 series. What do you think of the Stingrays probably are looking like right now?
So I think the Stingrays, one of the particular players that the coaches wanted to highlight was Area. For that side, they definitely want to see what that individually talented player can do. But the thing with the Barracudas, the thing that they're fighting right now is they have a lot of individually skilled players, but they need to figure out how those individually skilled players can work together. So we're seeing a lot of people just kind of take it all the way down the field by themselves, get the goal, but we're not seeing a lot of passing back and forth, which to some extent makes the Barracudas pretty predictable if you're only relying on one person to get it in the net.
I think I did see quite a little bit of passing for the Barracudas at least. There were definitely some setups that were properly followed up by Barracuda attackers as well. So I think probably in that case, in that way, they're making some headway on their passing ability. And that's sort of the same problem they ran into the first time around, was in the last Rumble last week. They were sent down to lower brackets because of that same sort of thought pattern of they weren't quite connecting with each other too much as they should have been, considering how individually talented these players were. But with this composition, they're definitely managing to connect with each other a lot more, and makes the Barracudas an extremely deadly team.
Looks like Nano currently in possession of the ball, going to kind of back up, see if they can get the assistance from Greed. Skate is just barely going to miss the touch and the goal. This ball's got a case of the zoomies. It's just passing hands faster than we can call it.
Greed getting the pass over to Gababy. Gababy getting the clear. Looking for a boom over to Nano. Nano got 50'd out of it, or didn't quite get the touch they were looking for. Now Greed off the sidewall. Here's Nano off the backboard looking for somebody to finish. There's Greed, one more off the backboard. Gababy, a slow touchdown, but it hits the crossbar. And that's going to be clear for State to Area. Area off the backboard. State trying to get a read a little bit too high, but here's a shot. And that was, I believe, Greed on the backboard. Now to make the touch to save it. The Stingrays go up 1 point.
The Stingrays really need to win this, so that's good for them, as Area's going to win the next 50-50. Being the player that the coaches have kind of talked to us the most about, we're looking to highlight them as a player, as we see Area trying to get a shot on goal. It just goes a little bit wide over the crossbar. Sicko chasing it down, as well as State. It looks like Gababy's going to go ahead and just slip right past the two of them, get the steal, try to set somebody up down main. It looks like Area's going to get the second touch, but Greed is going to stop that ball from going in.
State, one flick over, trying to get over Gababy. Baby contesting that. I'll let it go, and now it's up to Nano. Nano gets one in the second follow-up, looking, gets the 50. Bangs it over the other side. Area looking for a bump, but there's no fault from the orange attacker, so it's all for naught. As the ball stays alive, is there a save? And it's just going to float in to the top of the net and puts the Stingrays up confusingly 2-0.
We've seen a couple of times where there's people in the net, but there must have been some disruption going on, and I think that's another example of as that ball just goes sailing right over Greed's head, you know, kind of rustling their hair as it whizzes by into the goal, putting the Stingrays up 3 with 3 minutes and 11 seconds remaining.
State trying to keep the defense alive, does indeed do that. Trying to get a 50 on Nano, does get it. Now Gababy looking for follow-up, a little bit of double commit there. And they're bumping each other a little out of position. Nano might have the shot, does get a cut, but there's no shot there in the 50. Now it's up to Greed. Getting a slight touch, it was on target, but it's not strong enough. But Gababy gets played out by State. Get a perfect little pinch with each other. Now State looking for one more of the Area. A good pass, but it's just too fast to connect with the Area.
Looks like we bounce things over in the corner. Gababy's just barely going to miss that touch. Goes up in the air, but Enthusiasm doesn't get touches on the ball, as we see Nano currently in possession, kind of vying for it with Area there. Greed's going to come in, get the bump that kind of ends that duel there. Now it looks like State is going to be the next one in possession after Gababy. State's rushing in to try to score a goal. Takes it up on this. Gababy takes it up on the ceiling and then passes it back to Greed. And it looks like we're getting a big clear into the orange. Oh, that almost went in.
Almost a 50-50 goal for the side of the Barracudas. Oh, and Sicko getting a really good 50 on the sidewall here, forcing Greed to get on the back foot here. Gababy has to take over. This might be dangerous. Nobody's quite there. Now it's up to Greed to get some defense. Doesn't quite get it, but the shot wasn't on target either. But State's quick to follow up. Gababy has to elevate, trying to get over one. Does miss. Now Sicko with the shot and an empty net and an easy goal puts the Stingrays up 4-0.
The Barracudas feel like a completely different team than what we saw round one, as they are getting rolled as we go into the final minute and 47 seconds. Definitely still time for the Barracudas to turn around, if not this round, next round. It looks like Nano is currently in possession of the ball. Now Area, it looks like they're going to kind of climb up the side walls as they vie for possession. And then it bounces all the way over to Sicko, who sends it to Gababy, and now State is jumping into the air to contest the ball, but barely goes past his hood and almost goes sailing into the net.
A lot of these under ball touches that I'm trying to see from both sides, and especially prevalent from the Barracudas, and they've missed two, goal-saving opportunities because there wasn't a rotation. The rotations were wrong, and they're taking a chance from the middle underneath the ball, and there's a missed shot opportunity by Area. Gababy's going to be able to save it. This Greed wasn't quite able to make the touch. Now Sicko trying to get it past Greed, does in fact get it. Nano's on the first to respond. Kababy's in net. They're both getting a little bit confused out the midfield here in area. With the, setting it up, getting the shot. I believe that was Sicko that got the passing play for it.
Goal number 5, it looks like everybody's running low on boost on the side of Barracudas with the exception of Reed. And it looks like they don't have the speed to kind of contest State here. And Sicko with the ball as we're all the way over in blue territory. Massive clear. The area is going to try to staunch the bleeding from, but no, Nano says we're going to send it all the way over into the orange. Sicko actually gets an amazing kind of catch there and counter clear.
Oh, it could be shot followed by area. Baby's going to be able to clear it out fast enough. Keeping possession, gets it over 1. Is there a second follow-up? There is Sicko. No follow-up by blue attacker there. Greed having to get it clear here at the pass over by State from area. Getting it over Greed and setting up State easily for the cross shot.
I want to say at this point the Barracudas are looking for a moral though, because it's like 6, that's 1 goal every 2 seconds, so off the next 50-50s. I think the Barracudas are out of it this round and looking to kind of GG go next round as Sicko goes up in the air to contest both members of the Barracudas. And then immediately after that, Aeria's just going to yoink the ball away from the Barracudas. And it looks like Aeria's actually almost going to send it in, but Nano luckily was there with the bump to disrupt.
It definitely felt like a different team for both sides. It felt like the Barracudas were missing a lot of easy touches that they were able to make before. It felt really weird to watch the team kind of crumble like that, but to also see on the flip side as well, the Stingrays sort of make a little bit more of a comeback in terms of they seemed a little more mechanically sound, a lot more fluid with their gameplay, and their passing, and individually we're talking about the Barracudas passing, their passing also was a little more on point, but I feel like the majority of those goals, at least half of them, were just caused by mistakes that instead of the micro mistakes that we can sort of count up as to unlucky or you can fix that, they made a lot of macro mistakes. They made a lot of big ones. It
feels like when they're going to save the goal, right? Instead of trying to catch it. So imagine for a minute this is a soccer, right? You need to catch the soccer ball with your whole hand. You can't just touch it with the tips of your fingers and expect it not to go in your goal. And I felt like there was for the Barracudas, a lot of touching with the tips of their fingers, not whole hand grabbing, stopping the ball from going in. There were a lot of these just feather light, unable to really get any sort of impactful momentum on the ball.
Starting right off the bat, Sicko getting 1 touch over, not enough boost to follow up with it. Now Kababy with the bang. Area playing a little bit of backboard defense, has to get a follow-up here, touches it over the side. State looking to follow up as well. Nano gets the beat, looking for 1 more touch for the pass. Greed's there, and the 50, a little bit of a pinch as well. Into the goal. 15 seconds, putting the Barracudas up by 1 goal.
They said, all right, we GG go next. Nice job mentally resetting, getting in here, and it looks like Greed is currently in possession of the ball. Oh, I thought Area was going to steal it, but no, it's instead Nano that's going to get the massive clear, but State rotated back to goal. Wise decision. We see them go up in the air, kind of Nano bump to disrupt, pass it over to Greed, but Sicko's going to go ahead and take possession of that before Greed can even touch it and take it all the way into the goal in an explosion of colorful balloons.
Good little flick over by Sickos, and just enough to get it over the last defender on the blue side of the field. Greed might have an open net here, and Area not able to get there fast enough. Greed able to put it just far enough away from Area as well. Gonna put the Barracudas up 2-1 here. 3 goals in the past almost 40 seconds as well. On a bump, but it's shot by Sicko. 2-2. What is happening right now?
Goals are getting scored faster than we can kind of count, and we go replay, and then immediately after that, there's another goal. They've all got a case of the Zoomies trying to get these scores here. We do see Nano driving on the ceiling. We see him kind of come down, send the ball all the way over to the orange. It looks like Reed's trying to follow up, gets the touch, and there's nothing that the enemy defenders could do. They're just like, oh, hey, the balls go sailing right over, and Barracudas are up 1-3-2.
Definitely had a case of just sitting in the goal. I have no idea what's happening on here. Both teams just seem to be really good off the kickoff, and the other ones just seem to lose how to function with the controller. I don't know what's happening here.
Lots of kickoff goals with 6 goals scored as we get into 3 minutes and 57 seconds remaining. This game is tied up, and it looks like we're kind of done with kickoff goals, at least for now, as Greed is going to send things into the air and get demoed for their efforts. It looks like the Stingrays are leading and boost by a lot, so they should be trying to be aggressive here as we're over in the blue. It looks a little bit too excited as they just go sailing past the ball, and Greed is trying to pass. It looks like a little bit of an incomplete pass, just kind of dropped the ball.
Maybe stick on the side a little bit. Does get a good read on it. Looking to stick with it. Doesn't have quite the boost to get full advantage of it. Green trying to take a shot. Oh, and Nano misses the ball as well. Luckily for them, there was no follow for an orange defender. And Sicko making a really quality save and getting the ball just enough power to stay in their corner as well. Now Area with the backboard defense. Really good call out by them. Sicko getting one touch. Greed to get a slowdown on it, but Area's quick to follow it back up, pass in the middle. Now Nano looking for a solo play here with the pinch off the ceiling. Baby looking for a shot to get the angle, and Sicko with the clear, but Nano to follow it right back up. There might be a follow-up. Greed not getting quite the arrow on the car. It's looking like the Barracudas aren't able to mount quite the offensive movement they're looking for.
If they're able to just sit at the net and keep taking shots for an indefinite amount of time, though, eventually one of those is going to go in. The Stingrays need a big clear, and it looks like, right as I say that, they're going to go ahead and get it and send Nano chasing after that ball. But State's going to get there faster and attempt the shot. The Greed is going to deflect over to Area. Area says, we're still in this. Gababy with a finesse kick gets a clear, and then Sicko sends it right back almost into goal for Nano to save.
Oh, double commits on the defensive half for the side of the Barracudas, but Nano getting a perfect clear. Is it enough? It's not. And Sicko's going to get a great pinch clear and the second fall up as well to put a stop to Gababy, but Nano with the back pass gets disrupted by Area, and it might be a shot by State, and it is. And it puts the Stingrays up 4-3 with just under 2 minutes left.
And considering those 6 goals were scored within the first minute and 15 seconds, one goal feels very significant after 2 minutes here.
Yeah.
As Nano's just kind of dribbling the ball, going to pass to Gababy, and immediately after that, send it right in. Picture perfect, textbook example of passing to your teammate and getting the goal.
Yeah, that's a perfect description for that. If there was a textbook manual for Rocky League, that pass would be in there, or at least that style of it. Nano being a little bit disruptive for State, getting a bump. Greed to get off the side while looking for a second. Nano gets demoed though, getting a little bit of reset. Didn't get the 100 boost, denying State that, but Area looking for a double. Oh, that was another passing play that looked beautiful that happened here. Sicko getting around one defender with the follow-up. Greed's gonna take their time. Sicko just trying to get some disrupt here. Ooh, a little bit of demo from Nano gives Greed the space they need to get a 50 here, and Gababy with the bang. State not quite able to get the follow-up there, but Sicko's the backup play.
Looks like State is going to circle around. Green's going to make a shot on goal. It's going to go a little bit too far to the right there, as now State and Gababy are fighting for control of this ball, and it looks like it's Nano themselves that comes on top, that comes out on top. Green currently in possession of the ball and just going to send it in that bottom left corner. Defenders were ready to defend, like in the middle of the goal, and then they brought to check the corners.
That was a really good spot to put the ball as well, because that was the one spot as a defender you're not really expecting it to go behind you, especially in such a small corner, small spot to put it.
The accuracy required on point. It looks like Gababy's going to go ahead and get a massive clear all the way over into the orange. State is there to defend, so the goal will not be easy, as Sicko also rotates back. I believe that's all members of Stingrays on defense.
Gababy giving themselves a little bit of time here, gets 50 out, leaving for Nano. Nano to get one more, looking for the flip reset, gets stopped by Gababy. I mean, you have the lead, I guess that's okay, but if you get scored on, that's definitely on Gababy there, and now State has the chance to show it up. Looking for a pass to Area, and there it is, just as I was talking about. Area with the beautiful redirect, puts it bottom right bins.
We're seeing lots of these really clean corner shots that just demonstrate pinpoint accuracy, as Aries is going to go ahead and win the next 50-50 and just send it rolling on into the goal uncontested. I bet that feels great. A gentle stroll in the rain where you're rewarded with a goal.
Yeah, it's definitely sort of the throwing opportunity for the side of the Barracudas. They had that goal, especially with Nano getting a clean flip reset on that as well. There was nothing that was going to be inherently bad about that. I don't know if there's miscommunication or miscoordination. Whatever it was, the Barracudas are definitely kicking themselves in the butt after that one for kind of letting that one go. That definitely, the first 3 goals in the beginning, I don't know what happened there. That escapes my mind, flies over it. I can't even describe that, honestly. If I was to give that a segment, it would just be labeled chaos. But after that, it seemed like a relatively subtle gameplay, like nothing that's felt too out of the ordinary for these teams. But then that last 30 seconds went back to the beginning of the game, where it just felt like chaos and sort of like the Barracudas lost the fundamentals that they had for the beginning of the series.
For the beginning of the game, it felt like the goals were being made like immediately after 50-50s, right? Like you would go in, just be super aggro, and then win in the 50-50, and then immediately after that be rewarded with the goal before the enemy team could like even get ready, even get set up on anything defensively.
Yeah. No, yeah.
And it happened to both teams. Like, each team scored 3 goals in the first minute and 15 seconds. And it was just, each one of them was about off of a 50-50. That is about 10 seconds per goal. Insane. And then we went 2 minutes and 30 seconds without scoring any goals.
Yeah, like I said, I can't really put a label on that segment. It was so out of the ordinary for these teams, and for the Stingrays to kind of go in at match point here nonetheless. Like the Barracudas were sort of this team that we were putting so much hype about, and here they are about probably going to lose this series if they let the Stingrays keep their momentum, keep running away with this ball. With State, they're beautiful. They just keep smacking these bottom right and left bins, and they keep getting rewarded for it.
Barracudas just need to position somebody in the corners of the net. I think
Playing-
the bottom
yeah.
left, the bottom left, the bottom right. That's where they got to focus on because that's where the Stingrays are shooting and they're putting the goals in. Looks like Area's just barely not going to get that one. Crossy, best goalie in Rocket League here, as Greed's going to get a massive clear. However, State was laying in wait. A good defensive player for the Stingrays here, as they're now just going to dribble it all the way down the field until Nano steals the ball right from off the hood of their car.
Ooh. Area almost getting really clean, sort of close goal air dribble there. Playing back post might be beneficial for this team considering the amount of corner shots they've had to deal with. Sicko making a really good turn. Oh, puts the shot right on the defender's nose, and Greed might have the ability to score this. Ooh, State's gonna have to do something really quick here. Is able to make a follow-up and 50 out. Greed put the ball behind Nano.
That was a pretty big clear for State there to send it just kind of all the way over into the orange from their own net there. That corner goal just barely wasn't accurate enough to go in, and it looks like the next one, ET State's going to get set up for a kind of a mid-corner goal there. Putting the Stingrays up too.
Are being caught lacking right now. They are just getting, they're just being caught out in the open, honestly, with a lot of this stuff, and it's really blatant mistakes that are happening with the miss of rotations or bad 50s just off the bat. And then to highlight as well, the Stingrays are playing really well, so they're able to take advantage of that with beautiful shot placement and really good aggression that they're showing. They're aggro.
It looks like Baby is in possession of the ball, going to go up to the side. It looks like Nano's going to kind of try to contest it in the corner areas, just laying in wait in that corner, got to turn themselves around so they can chase after that ball. Currently in possession. Actually, it looks like Nano and State are fighting for current possession. Nano gets the touch. Ooh, Sicko almost scores in their own goal. Luckily for the Stingrays, they don't. And Gababy goes driving all the way up the sidewall onto the ceiling, sending things down to Greed Main, but Area just barely dinks that ball and sends it all the way into the Barracuda's goal.
Just getting caught out of position. This is so uncharacteristic for a Barracuda's team. I truly sort of wonder what's happening here. I mean, at one point, if you are sort of letting this game run away, they've definitely had that happen to them because they're 3 goals down, and I understand 3 goals is really easy to sort of make up for, but they've got to flip the switch here. The Stingrays are proving that they're a team that can score on these guys.
Stingrays wants the bracket reset, it kind of sounds like. Looks like Nano's going to send that into the air. Gababy's going to pop it up as well. Sicko goes up, uses all their boost almost to contest that up in the air, and then immediately after that it's sent up, but this time it's Area using 100 to 0 to get all the way up, get the touch. It looks like Area, the ball's just dinking around too fast for us to keep track of as Greed goes up the sidewall. Sicko goes to contest them as well as State. Greed is trying to bring it into an empty net, but once again, the ball's been thrown much higher than the goalposts.
Interesting touch for sure. Definitely don't see that coming, but Gababy nonetheless credited with the goal. Is going to be able to finish it out. A full 3-man commit on the side of Barracudas is finally able to put one on the board for them. State, the lone defender, net, going to have to read this ball. Does indeed get it. Now to try and get the resetter here. Area looking to clear. Does get the flip reset off, well, not the flip reset, but the reset off the ceiling here. Gababy looking for the follow, doesn't the boost or nowhere the height to do it. And Nano maybe the pass to Greed out in the midfield here, but State's there to disrupt it.
Baby's going to get a massive clear, sending that ball all the way over to touch the net. It looks like the ball is going to be sent back to Greed, who's looking to send it over State, who just goes careening over his head, back all the way into the orange side of the field, and now the blue, and it looks like the Baby and Nano are just phasing through each other as they go up that arc in the air, and now we switch over to Greed, who's circling this ball area, unfortunately going to get the touch and demoed immediately after.
Really big triple commit from the side of Barracudas as well. Surprised with taking advantage faster by the Stingrays there. Sicko with the pass over to State. State banging the ball up the top right. It's going to be blocked out by Kababy. Now good 50, still leaving the ball in the middle. Nano with the beat. Is Sicko there in time? Gets to catch this ball and make a pinch. Really good touch up the sidewall there. Keeping the score line even for what it is. Still at a 3-1 here with the minute left.
Looks like Nano's going to bounce the ball off the backboard. Sicko's just going to kind of go driving right on by it. It looks like Sicko's actually going to get the next touch, and before Nano can even get there.
Just leaving the net open twice now for the side of the Barracudas. They are falling apart as these last 50 seconds count down. They've got to find something right now in this aggressive push. They're not able to find a goal here, but that doesn't mean they're quite out of it yet. State to clear it. Nano with not enough boost here. Greed wasting what's left in the tank to try and get a touch here. Ultimately is sent off the backboard. There might be a follow-up from an orange attacker. Area trying to stick with it. It's faked out a little bit. Nano trying to get the flick over one. State to get the 50, keeping the ball in the midfield here. Nano to send over to the corner. State leaving the ball out here. Area is going to have to make a defensive play. Gets a really good read off of Kababy. Now it's all up to State. Greed playing it down the last 10 seconds. It's looking like the Stingrays are going to be the ones to walk away with this series in their favor and win it all.
Looks like 6 seconds remaining. The Barracudas are just looking to put like another goal on the board, and it looks like Area is going to go ahead and get it clear. And it actually is looking like the Stingrays are just going to send that rolling on over, and Greed's just like, well, not a ton I can do about it. As we go to our next 50-50, the Barracudas are looking to win. No. Area is the only one that goes for it. So I want to say the biggest thing that happened there was the Barracudas had half of their rotations, right? They had the midfield and the front field. They had those, or I guess 2/3 of their rotations. They're rotating pretty well between midfield and the front field. But they never had anybody rotate back. They're never like, hold on, let me just put this in reverse, like check behind me for pedestrians and go check and go save that ball that just went at the goal.
Yeah, it was definitely a little uncharacteristic for the side of the Barracudas, but you know, Kobe, you can see how going at it alone can only get you so far. Ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. We just saw that last play. I did, that one really passing play, that textbook play. Even though it was from the Barracudas, there was passing play. You can see that coordination they had going on there. You can see how far they've come since the last time they were in the Rumble. Esports Tower really takes the time to create teams of well-matched teammates. I'd like to do a shout out for Coach Jake and those watching haven't checked out Esports Tower Club. You should. It's a fast track to rank up. Dang, the Stingrays walking away with that. Quite honestly, when I saw the matchup, I was not expecting it. I was not expecting that combination, but out the gate, we recognize the Stingrays as being a solid team for having Area as a really good combination with them. Area and State seem to follow well off of each other, and Area being a really mechanically solid player as well, which is always a solid thing to have for a team of that composition. When you have one player that is always kind of able to seem and feel like they know what they're doing with the ball, and their car control is really exquisite, and they're able to do what they want with the ball when they want to, it sets their teams up really well to score. And honestly, if there's nobody that matches Area's performance, it's already player of the game.
I also want to talk about, I want to highlight State as an individual player as well, because they were mostly the one that would rotate back to save any of those goals that were being saved. In addition to the fact where the couple breakaway plays that we saw where there was absolutely no one on that side of the field, State was definitely a part of that. State just kind of had a knack for knowing exactly where the ball was going to go and being there before anybody was aware of what was happening.
Oh, yeah. But as we close out the first series here, make sure to stick around. We have more Rumble Rocket League to come up next. We actually have the Lynx and the Wolves that are going to be next playthrough. We're going to see after these messages.
You take really strong players from disparate communities and you put them together on teams with expert coaching.
So you mean to tell me by all the hands in the room, everybody in here is that top 2%?
It's ultimate, it's a 1v1, and Prestige does it!
It's not every day that you're a kid like me and you get to have this experience.
Something, he gets one.
This boot camp is really about finding out every weakness.
There's no such thing as a big mistake at this level.
I have people in the crowd there cheering my name on. I have to give them a show.
That feeling of just being up on stage and having a whole crowd of people, it's unbeatable.
1v1, but... Oh, why would you pick him?
I love this. I want to do this every day.
Another pin!
You didn't make a choice, so you were just looking at things.
If you want to go pro, sometimes you have to make sacrifices.
Jump up and down, you're a crowd, you're casters. It's a transformational experience.
That was a light switch, and now I see what it's all about.
A lot of players here right now are caught up in winning their tournaments 5-10 years down the road. They're not going to remember who won.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
This week's broadcast, the USA Tower Rumble and Rocket League. We're broadcasting it once again for the beautiful Boise State Esports Arena. It is time for our grand finals. The Lynx and the Hammerheads are set. Who will see who crowned it all in this week's Rumble? But before we get to that, we do have a little more matchup here. We do have a best of 3 going into it. It is the Lynx and the Wolves going at it before we can really see who pushes forward here. So going forward, we saw the Stingrays perform it dominantly. They took down a pretty big team, so honestly, my expectations are back down to 0 again. I feel like I'm in the dark again. I don't know where I'm going because I thought I had a directionality of who was good, who wasn't, but that my perspective isn't flipped upside down. So honestly, at this point, my perspective is just I'm gonna let the game and the ball speak for itself, and whoever walks out of this best of 3 is the one I'm rooting for in the grand finals.
And I think the Lynx, they barely missed out on taking out the Barracudas in Game 3 last week. And I feel like if they can kind of like play that well, they can advance into the grand finals and kind of get that face off and maybe come off the champions themselves.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. And, you know, this sort of determines who goes to that grand finals and who waits there, right? Whose journey ends here and now. So, you know, we have it. We have it going for it. Yeah, Stingrays are waiting, and yeah, they're honestly probably one of the stronger teams right now. And quite honestly, I think they look amazingly impressive for me. And we just want to take a moment to congratulate all the Esports Tower Club members who have graduated from the clubs and have been offered scholarships across the country over the last 3 months. Esports Tower members have received over $4.5 million in scholarship awards. These students have not only worked hard in their in-game play, but worked hard academically and have earned those scholarship opportunities. The players that have received these scholarships are talented, hardworking, and driven, and we could not be more excited and proud to see all the opportunities, the English language is hard, these players are going to get, and more, and that number just keeps climbing, which is only a testament to the dedication these players have. But it's not all about car soccer. Get those grades up. So I got it. Yeah, that's all for it. But in terms of, we're talking about grades, or at least I'm talking about grades. But I think there's somebody else that we could loop into the conversation that could help them in Rocket League to perhaps get somewhere, get a little more forward pacing here. And those are, of course, going to be Doc's keys to the game. In Rocket League, it's always to create mistakes, punish the overcommit, play the walls better, and demo to disrupt. That's pretty much what it means. Sort of to create mistakes, the demo, and the punish the overcommits, right? So it's very important to do that. And Doc's keys to the game are brought to you by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure, and you'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up, not only as a player, but as a person as well. I'd just like to add that, my own piece, my own 2 cents. And getting right into it, the Lynxes and the Wolves. 3, 2, 1, go. Who do you got?
Lynxes.
Solid answer. I'll go with
I
the Wolves.
took an extra couple seconds there. I was just like, pardon me?
What? I just threw the question out there. But quite honestly, if you had to throw an educated guess prediction out there from what we saw previously, I quite honestly, off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure how the Lynxes or the Wolves performed last week. But from what it was, just going off of chronologically what historically has happened, the Lynx are probably going to be a very strong team.
Looks like we're waiting to find out here as we wait to get into our next 50-50. I think the Lynxes are the favorite teams, and it actually looks like immediately, that is almost a goal as soon as we get into the game, immediately after the first 50-50, 5 seconds in.
Lynx and the Wolves are both trying to stay alive.
Oh, there it is.
And it looks like the Lynx wanted a little bit more to progress upon this bracket here. To kick off the lower bracket series here. The Lynx have barely missed out on taking the Barracudas to Game 3. But the coaches want the Lynx to play with confidence and not let any early deficits shake their gameplay. However, on the Wolves side, the coaches have worked with the teams on staying positive and finding ways to win the little things that in the game can lead to a series win and overall improve sort of team morality. And if if you're confident in your teammates and in your play, you're going to find a little bit more success if your mechanical ability is there. But Plea was mentioned last time as well, especially on this team. I do remember now. Plea was an outstanding player for me on the side of the Wolves.
It looks like kind of Papasaur is going to take possession of the ball. It looks like Plea and X-Spoil are facing through each other as Durkee and Doom does the same thing. A couple of double commits come out from each team, which kind of equals out to maybe single players there. It looks like Plea is going to send things over to Doom, and then the ball goes up in the air. Nobody has enough boost to test it, so X-Spoil is just going to wait. As soon as it touches the ground, get the touch, send it over to Tony, who sends it over to Plea, who gets the 3rd touch, and Doom is the final bastion for the Lynx's defense as he gets a massive clear all the way over, almost into the orange goal.
Big squad. It was Plea that actually made the committed touch. On at the second there. Does get a little bit of bang over to the corner here. Now there's Doom looking for a follow-up here. Does get 1 touch. He's good for 2, 3. Maybe power out to the flip reset. Isn't able to get it though, but is able to clear the ball all the way down to the other side. Put a little pressure on the Lynx to respond to that. Or actually the Wolves, my bad. Papasaur is going to get one up. Trying to get over. Tony isn't quite able to get it. Now it's Plea carrying it over. No quite contest. Trying to get an air dribble.
Goes in the air.
Ooh.
Durkee gets the touch disrupt though.
Oh! Beautiful play out there by Tony. He's going to be able to just slowly kind of behind the enemy lines.
Just
put
don't
that ball
mind
in the back
me
of the net.
wheeling this into the goal.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's demoed right off the 50-50, and then Papasaur is going to take possession of the ball, pass it over to Durkee, but Plea's going to get the touch to disrupt the Lynx's plans, and it looks like X-Spoiled is waiting down midfield to get the next goal, or the next touch, excuse me. And then Durkee's going to get the first touch, and Doom's going to get the second.
Oh, what a save by Tony.
Bouncing
to
off
do
the
it
back
again,
wall,
though.
sent straight down.
Ooh, Tony making 3 defensive plays in the span of 15 seconds. Now it's Please turn, got to beat out. Doom does get it. Is there a second touch? Does get it. Durkee's not quite able to get the touch they're looking for here, and Plee might go off the ceiling here. Too fast, a little bit of pinch. Tony's trying to control the ball. One more off the ceiling. Goes for the fake there. Doesn't commit. Now here's Doom. Get another carry here. Now we put on net, but Durkee quick to follow up. Only gets the 1 touch and has to dip out. It's the second one off the sidewall. Tony not able to get anything there. And the missed touch by Tony leads Papasor to put another on the board.
Putting the Lynxes up 2-1, 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining as Papasor and Tony are just going to bounce the ball back and forth, and then almost going to go right off the 50-50, but instead it's going to go wide and hit the crossball and land in the possession of Plee, who immediately backs off and hands it to Doom.
All right, Plee getting one more touch. Going to have to do something else. Tony and Spoiled. Getting a little bit of team friendship there. Going to clear it. Tony getting a really good read down the bottom. A little bit of luck, a little bit of skill there. Pops are now we get a clear here. Does get a bump with Spoiled. Gives Doom the perfect amount of time, but Tony's back there to clear it back. Durkee making a good read off the sidewall there. The flip kind of messes Durkee up. Spoiled getting look at second. Doesn't get it, but Please there to follow the shot. And it's going to place it perfectly. And that's going to tie the game back up.
And it looks like, I want to say that was like 10% luck, 20% skill, maybe 15% concentrated power of will. Yes, thank you.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And the first, like, you said it, and then I was like, okay. And you got to say that, I was like, okay.
Please going to go ahead and get demoed there. That puts a wrench in the Wolves' plans as the game's all tied up. Minute and 9 seconds remaining. Doom going in the air, getting the first touch, and then Plee is immediately going to take it from them after that. Popstar is going to bounce it right back to Tony.
Ooh, Tony Spoiled again. A little bit of pinch play there. Plee doesn't quite get the touch, but Durkee isn't able to react fast enough. Bob does get a touch. Now here's Doom looking to react. Get a 50 down on Plee. Plee keeping a little bit of possession here. Gets a pinch. Is there a follow-up? There's no. Durkee gets a shot on the backboard here. It might be. No, Spoiled's not able to convert it back. Spent a little bit too time on the backboard there. And puts the Lynxes up 3-2.
41 seconds remaining. The Wolves have got to make a big play, maybe off the 50-50 as Tony's just going to run away with it, get the touch, and then send it over to, oh my gosh, Spoiled is just too far back, and Doom gets the touch and gets a massive clear over into the orange, past the 50-50 line, still in the hands of Dorothy, and we're sent back to the 50-50 with another touch.
Beginning of 50, keeps it out in the midfield here, a little bit of pinch. Actually, a lot of pinch there. He's going to pay with their life, step back to the respawn. Tony just giving a little bit of time, setting off the backboard here. Dorothy's 50 off to the other orange corner here. Now Spoiled gets beat. It's Durkee with 1 touchdown. Oh, but Tony gets the beat there. And now Durkee has to get 1 more. It's the final second. Winds down. Plee is going to tie. Wait, whoa, wait, what?
Tying the game up at 0-0. Sending us into overtime, 3 seconds and climbing as Spoiled is going to send the ball over to Doom and Tony. It looks like Doom is going to get the first touch, but Tony's not far behind. Plee gets the next touch, passing it over to Tony, who's just not fast enough before Durkee and Papasor to steal that ball.
Ooh, and Plee's going to get the boost steal here. On the side of blue boost, it's not looking too great for them right now. Plee getting 1 flick over. Tony might have the room to do it. Oh, do it. Durkee are going to get, but the shot by Plee is just a little bit too far out now. Spoilers slowing the ball down a little bit. Pop has 100 boosts here, but is there rotation in time? Pop doesn't have to get too good of a clear as the ball was off. And that's Doom getting demoed, but does get reset, 33 boosts, and the correct spawn is going to be able to keep possession of the ball, get 100, get it on Spoiled. Now it's Tony slowing it down, but pays for it. Durkee might have a touch for Durkee. Whoa. Just 50-50 ping-pong back and forth so far, and Doom not able to make a quality touch.
Looks like Durkee's going to get that first touch, but there is nobody midfield to kind of pass that on, and it looks like Popstar's going to get the first touch, but Plee's going to get the disrupt and then go up in the air and send a massive clear while Doom is waiting in the goal, gets the bounce off of the sidewall. Doom's going to pop it up back in the air. This ball is just kind of like popcorn, touching the ground, then goes back up every couple of seconds.
I'd love to see a much more committed attempt. Oh, Plee gets a little bit of perfect block. I have the
Crossy! Oh, Crossy defends the first one.
Beautiful read there by Plee. And honestly, I sort of didn't realize it that we hit 0 seconds and that the Wolves were down by 1. So when Plee is honestly kind of the the victor of that game, honestly, the MVP, because those last 2 goals plead the reason why they stayed in the game, plead the reason why they won the first game of the series, and go to match point. So, honestly, put it all on Please back because they're doing great right now.
Just make a mental note for the ICCU player of the game discussion later.
Yeah, actually, I made a comment earlier that I said, I believe it was Iria, that first series that I made the comment of, if nobody else matches Iria's performance, it will most likely be Iria who makes player of the game. Mm-hmm. I'm going to slowly redact that statement and put Plea up for a contender of the ICC player of the game. But we're getting a little far ahead of ourselves right now as the Wolves go into match point here, but can the Lynxes pull through? They definitely kept it close. I wouldn't say it's really a stomping so far.
Oh, absolutely not. We went into overtime for about a minute. There's no stomping to be had. These teams are very evenly matched. And I think there's just kind of this mosh pit that follows the ball around that's consisting of these 2 teams right now as we see Doom walking into all 3 members of the Wolves. Oh,
really good attempt
first bounce back. Durkee's not able to get the touch, or the touch gets disrupted as Tony is now in possession of the ball, trying to kind of schmooze it past Doom. Doom says, no, I'm an unstoppable wall. Gets a massive clear all the way over into the orange. This ball is just making these long lines across the field.
Just an equal amount of possession. Oh, an open net. Pop might be able to take advantage. And a great bump. I don't remember exactly who got the bump, but if you did, whoever did get that, congratulations to you. You single-handedly made that open net and gave Pop a free goal, putting the Lynxes up 1-0 here with still over 4 minutes left to play.
And it looks like Dorothy is going to get the touch, and then it looks like the ball is just going to get sent all the way back to midfield. Popsor goes up on the side, playing the side wall better there. But Tony's going to go ahead and just steal it all the way out from main field as Tony tries to rotate. Plea makes a shot on goal just a little bit too far.
Wow.
And Spoiled also makes a shot on goal, but it looks like the Lynxes are going to be able to defend as Doom and Popasor are both in goal currently. Durkee kind of lurking around.
Not the best touch made over by Tony here. Now is Dorothy. Ooh, a big demo out by Tony, giving a lot of room for the Lynx to work here, but they're completely denied any availability they had on the ball here. Spoilers are sticking onto this ball, not letting them take possession of it. As Tony has one more touch. Plea trying to take a shot.
It's fairly wide.
Not close enough on a tight enough angle.
Looks like Plea's going to go ahead and actually just miss that touch and leave it up to Tony on the ground. Popsor gets the touch, the bounce off the back wall. Dorothy's going to try to touch, but instead it's Spoiled that's going to steal the touch and get a massive clear all the way into the blue. Rewarded with the ability to make an offensive play. Let's see what the Wolves can make of it.
Dorkee's going to follow up with it, leaving a lot of pressure. Dorkee trying to get one putt out to middle. Tony with no boost isn't able to make a follow-up here. Gets the 100 though. Doom not able to get the beat here. Tony back. Doom might make a commit. Oh, Pop. Ooh, does get saved a little bit by Durkee, but it's still in the orange side of the net. Oh, Durkee trying to get a touch on shot.
Two members in the net. This is going to be almost impossible. As X-Spoiled is going to get demoed, leaving the... Well, that's, I mean, as soon as they respawn. Plea, I mean, the answer to too many people in the net is just start demoing. That's what it looks like the Lynxes are doing.
It is a lot of demoing here. It's a pretty fresh play style that I think we haven't seen yet in this Rumble. Specifically, ooh, Tony trying to get a beat around Pop. Please able to get the beat around Doom. Now there might be a shot potential. It is blocked out by Durkee here. Now Spoil's gonna have to make a touch. Misses the touch. Durkee with a shot. Is able to get it. Gets it over Plea. And that's the Lynx is up 2-0 here over the Wolves.
And it looks like with 2 minutes and 4 seconds remaining, Doom is going to win the next 50-50, but Plea says you're not scoring as he sends it up, goes up the sidewall, and immediately decides that's not the plan as X-Spoiled pops it up in the air. It's the ceiling, pops back down into this mosh pit of waiting cars.
Oh, big bump. Doom not able to convert the goal yet. Does get the demo nonetheless. Tony's going to have to make a turn. Also might get demoed as well. The second demo from Doom. Now waiting for the ball up on the sidewall here. Gets one touch, a little bit of back pass. A perfect flip. Makes it from going outside. Teammates are not able to read that here, and now it's Doom again. Oh, getting a little too close for comfort here on the own side of the net. Now Pop for the follow-up here. Gets one touchdown to Doom. Doom gets over one and a shot on net. Wow.
Tony flips and just barely misses the ball as it goes between his tires and into the goal. Looks like this next 50-50 is going to go the way of Please. Please continuing to chase after it as it goes skyward up into orbit and immediately comes down in between Spoiled and Doom, who neither one manages to touch it.
Dorky trying to get the 50 on the sidewall here. Now Plea off the back wall. Gets one more touch. Spoiled might have the shot here. Not powerful enough as Pop's going to be able to block it. Plea getting 50, trying to keep this ball in the midfield here. Spoiled doesn't quite make a turn. Pop, one off the sidewall here. No follow-up. And there's a shot, and it gets past 3 Wolf defenders here. The Wolves' defense collapsing as Lynx are going to get the 4th on the board here.
They were all just like, oh, there it goes. There it is. And it's gone. And it's in the goal. I can't believe that. What an amazing shot. But the Lynx is there now up 4-0. 45 seconds remaining as we kind of go over. Doom currently in possession of the ball, fighting Spoiled for it, and rolls that and Spoiled right into their net.
Mercy, please. Give him a chance to
This isn't
score.
Overwatch.
A stern look is being given right now. This is car soccer, not Overwatch, but just the Lynx keep increasing this goal right now. This lead they have, goal after goal. They're unstoppable right now on the Wolves. What was sort of a miracle-saving performance that gave them game 1 is starting to crumble here as they're not able to find a solution to beat out this Lynx offense nor defense. Plead the man of the hour for the game. Oh! But they're spoiled. Just as I say that, they finally get a point on the board here. But with 14 seconds left, it's all too late. And this is going to go to a game 3.
All right, but they got the morality point, though. They didn't get
Brazil.
zeroed, and that's important. And then immediately after that, a goal off of the 50-50. Putting us 7-1, 12 seconds remaining. Papasaur! Tony is just barely going to kind of send that over. Papasaur flying off the ceiling, doing some nice aerial play. That remembers the ball. It goes back to touch. It looks like Doom is currently in possession to send it into the corner. X-Spoiled trying to challenge them. The Lynxes are still hard on the offensive. Even as the ball touches the ground, you can see them closing in on that empty net.
Yeah, that was a weird. This has been a weird day of Esports Tower Rocket League simply because the first games are so deceiving. I've been bamboozled twice here now in the fact that I think I make this accurate read of, hey, this team looks really good. They did a really good job. But I also sort of made the comment, it's nobody's game yet, right? It went into overtime. They made a last-second miracle goal, and they're able to find an opening. But, man, they could not find an opening this time. Like, the Lynx really pulled up their whatever they're wearing, shorts, pants, sweats, whatever it is. And they went to work, and they got it done, pushing it to a game 3.
Hold on, let me roll up my sleeves, put on the gardening gloves. We're going in.
Hold my Capri Sun.
Hold my Capri Sun. I love it. And as we go into this next one, both of these teams have got one, so it's up to this is the final round. And it looks like Plea is currently in possession of the ball, going to miss that touch, but X-Spoiled is going to go ahead and send it all the way over into the orange. Papasaur and Durkee kind of passing it back and forth, looking for their opportunity. Doom with a clear all the way into the orange, runs right into Tony.
Ooh. There's Pop trying to get a pass. A little bit of color swap actually here, I think. Yeah. The colors got swapped. Nevertheless, let's see if it gives the Lynx the energy. Actually, sorry, the Wolves the energy to keep it going here. Doom not quite able to make the touch they're looking for. Is able to get a beat, but gets demoed for it. Now it's Dirty getting a 50 as well. Also exchanging a demo. Now Pop trying to get beat around 1. Does get it around Spoiled here. Trying to get a pass out, does beat one defender here, but Plea is there. Is there a follow-up? However, this could be dangerous. Doom with a shot, and top middle bins for Doom. Wow.
The symbol has become an omen of goal scoring and doom for the enemy team here. As we kind of just see the big wing flutter, and Doom almost making that goal off of the 50-50, but luckily Tony is going to touch it and kind of send it very far off course. And then immediately after that, Durkee just barely getting the save.
Durkee a little bit too fast of a touch here. Pop getting a really good fake around 1. Now it's Durkee trying to beat another. Please gonna have to get a beat. Doom! Once again, when Doom is near your goal, it might as well spell D-O-O-M because it just spells it out for you. Now
Looks like ways we Durkee almost gets that in the corner. Please says, oh man, I'm so glad that missed. And goes ahead and catches the ball and kind of sends it over. Doom's going to go ahead and steal it. Has the shot there. Him and X-Spoiled, equal forces on either side of this ball, smashing it in between them.
Doom getting a 50 here. There is a rotation by Durkee. Durkee able to get the clear here. Now it's up to Spoil to make the decisive touch here, keeping it close a little bit. Does get a 50, keeping it in the middle field here. Please the shot. It's a bit too wide as an open net is left unscored on for the Wolves. Oh! Just as I say that, though, Tony's going to be able to get the perfect kind of bouncing shot. Find the goal somehow.
Wolves are still up 1-2. 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining as Tony's going to go up the wall, dribbling. Nobody is able to contest him, but he sends it right back down into Papasaur. Back to Doom, back to Durkee. It goes all the way up, touches the ceiling before coming down to X-Spoiled, who is laying in wait.
Oh, Expo trying to get it over one defender there. Mike gives them a little bit of life they need. Tony with the pass up the middle here. Nobody's quite there able to follow up. Spoiled makes the misread there. And Durkee able to make the read as well. Is going to take advantage of the mistakes. A key play to Doc's keys to the game.
I thought that was going to go in just straight off the 50-50, just sailing in like a cruise ship, that goal. Just right, almost right off the 50-50. It was first turned back and then immediately put right in. Let's see. So Tony goes in, gets the ball, X-Spoiled kind of sends it. And then we now see Papasaur kind of popping it up to the side, sending it main where Flea is just kind of laying there sneakily. But Papasaur says, I'll just go right over your head.
Pop had the chance to get the 50 to get the flip reset there. Was disrupted by teammate though. And now it's Durkee getting demoed there. Oh, Doom a little bit too far over. But it's going to be relieved as there was no Wolves or Lynx attacker able to make a conversion on that goal here. Now Durkee, a lot of room, gets disrupted by Flea here. Pops up and elevated, does put a shot on net. Oh! And just off the corner of a car, Flea making the wrong angle and the wrong commit is going to put it their own back of the net.
And it looks like as Doom is going to win the next 50-50, it just barely goes wide to the left. Papasaur currently in possession of the ball. No, Tony appears out of nowhere. And Durkee gets the first touch. This is just a mosh pit of cars that this ball is trying to get out of right now as it goes up in the air. Tony gets the touch. Flea gets the touch to send it all the way back into the corner. Papasaur steals it before Flea can run any further.
A lot of demos and a lot of bumps here, honestly. I think if you, it doesn't count them all, but there's probably been over 5 bumps and demos in total so far in this game. Probably the most we've seen in the series so far in this week of Esports Tower Rumble. And a really good 50, leaves the ball in the middle here. A Wolves attacker is not able to take advantage of it. Durkee trying to play disruption here, but Doom's able to get the 50, keep it in the blue side. Pop might have a shot. Gets a little bit of fake here, dodges to the wrong side here. Now it's up to Doom, getting one more off the backboard, looking for a pass. Does get it, but Flea's gonna make the accurate read there as Doom's gonna get a bump on the way out. Popping the ball up, does pay for it though. Now it's up to Doom. One touch, leaving up to the corner here with 55 seconds left. All they have to really do is play keep away or keep putting points on the board. Pop the last one in rotation, is able to get a really good 50, has to play it one more time. And Pop being the savior for these last 10 seconds.
And as this next one, Flea kind of goes up in the air, bounces it back and forth with Doom. It looks like this ball is just trying to escape all of the cars. Durkee demonstrating some nice dribbling skills as he then pops it up in the air. X-Spoiled hasn't been able to steal this ball yet as they just barely get the touch to disrupt and send it to Flea down midfield. But then immediately after that, the Wolves take it back.
Last 20 seconds winding down here. The Lynx have got to do something and have got to do it now. They have no more time to waste as Pop's elevated, looking for a second touch here. Does get it, but it's Tony with the right read and right positioning is going to keep it out of the back of the net. But Durkee might have a second shot. Now here's Doom on the rotation. Gets one off the backboard. Is Pop there for the follow-up? It is. And that's going to put the last nail in the coffin for the Lynx as the Wolves will undoubtedly the last 3 seconds here at a 5-2 scoreline advance to the grand finals this week at Esports Tower Rumble.
Oh, almost into that corner there, and Doom's not able to get the second touch, but also Flea was standing, waiting right there to be the barrier to the final goal.
The Lynx are going to move on, and I'm not to float my own boat, but I may have said something earlier in the series when we came back from break, something about the Lynx and something about the Hammerhead, sorry.
Wow, I totally forgot, Colin. Yeah. What do you mean? What did you say about the Lynx? Please remind me.
I simply said they were a strong team from 2 weeks ago and that they had the possibility to meet the Hammerheads in the grand finals here. Basing myself off of the past history of Esports Tower Rumble teams, I made an assumption and an educated guess, and it turned out correct. For once, probably. Honestly, I think if I went back and looked at the VOD reviews, I'd probably be wrong with every assumption. But this time I'm right. That's the only time that ever really matters.
Keeping that. Colin's been right once in his life, and he's like, I'm going to keep this close to my heart for as long as I live.
I have a tally system. I just marked it. Nobody's allowed to erase that forever.
Oh, really? As I reach for the eraser, you have a tally system, huh?
You shall not. You will not pass. But as we end out that final best-of-3 series, the Lynx managed to beat out the Wolves, managed to beat out the Wolves and are going to head to a game with the Hammerheads in the grand finals. We're going to take a short break, get some water, prepare for this final matchup. We'll see you after these messages.
You take really strong players from disparate communities and you put them together on teams with expert coaching.
So you mean to tell me by all the hands in the room, everybody in here is that top 2%?
It's ultimate. It's a 1v1. It proceeds to the last moment.
It's not every day that you're a kid like me and you get to have this experience.
Something. He gets one.
This boot camp is really about finding out every weakness.
There's no such thing as a big mistake at this level.
I have people in the crowd there cheering my name on. I have to give them a show.
That feeling of just being up on stage and having a whole crowd of people, it's unbeatable.
1v1, but why would you pick him?
I love this. I want to do this every day.
You didn't make a choice, so you were just looking at things.
If you want to go pro, sometimes you have to make sacrifices.
Jump up and down, hear a crowd, hear casters. It's a transformational experience.
That was a light switch, and now I see what it's all about.
A lot of players here right now are caught up in winning their tournaments 5-10 years down the road. They're not going to remember who won.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
For the final time of this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble and Rocket League, we're broadcasting it from the Boise State Esports Arena. It is time for our grand finals. The Lynx versus the Hammerheads are all set to see who will be crowned this week's Rumble champion. As always, for the third time this time around, I'm your host, Colin Majunkin, and joining me on desk is Colby Alloway. And we saw a lot of action so far. We saw quite a few games.
Upsets, actually.
Yeah, actually, I was wrong, admittedly, in the first one. The second one was the best of three. That went by pretty fast.
Wasn't it the second one that you were incorrect about, too?
No, I called the Lynx. I favored the Lynx. Because I
just wanted to psych you out.
Actually, I don't remember
But I forgot, you have your tally mark that
I do have my tally mark,
reminds
yes,
you that you've been correct about one thing in
I've
your
been
life.
correct one thing, and I will take this one thing forever in life. In 50 years, I'll be on a podcast, and I'll be like, this was the one time.
I was correct about the Lynxes winning.
I was correct this one time. But,
you know why you were correct, right?
Hmm?
Because we were in agreement that the Lynxes were the favorite team.
You know, don't make it your win. Don't make it your win. You're undermining my success here. But moving forward, though, we've seen the Lynx play. I don't think out of recent memory I can really remember how the Hammerheads play or what their strengths are. But we do know one side of the field. What are sort of your – I'm going to let you make the call and the prediction on that now. From what you saw in the Lynx play in the last match, what do you think they need to do to sort of – keep a fresh mentality, keep a fresh mindset going against the Hammerheads?
I think it's all about, for the Lynxes, keeping their head in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because it felt like there were significant differences between the way the team played from rounds 1 and 3 versus round 2. And it felt like the difference was the Lynxes were just kind of like, I don't know if the communication fell apart or if they weren't calling rotations, but it kind of felt like for round 2, the Lynxes were just this like circle around the ball, triple committed to just following it around and not being able to get those touches if they didn't have the boost to jump high enough. We talked about not being able to like grab the ball with your whole hand, just barely touching it with the tips of your fingers. It goes sailing in to crush all of your round 2 dreams. So I would just kind of say my one piece of advice to the Lynxes would be just make sure you have someone that rotates back. And make sure they're able to read when the ball's coming in so that it's not a reactive movement. Instead, it's proactive. Like, jump
100%.
before the ball is already halfway through your net.
Preach. We're getting ready to kick off our grand final between the Lynx and the Hammerheads. Let's see who gets off to a hot start in Game 1. With the Lynx, winning Game 1 is something that the Lynx feel is very important, as they do not want to let the Hammerheads get the early momentum. It's something you don't want to let a team that you know is dangerous happen. And the coaches for the side of the Hammerheads really enjoy how this team has grown with each other and are excited to see how this grand final performance could be the beginning of something impressive for this team. And boogity, boogie, boogity, we're off to the races here. As Doom's going to start out strong, get an air dribble over to the side.
Ooh, State's going to go ahead and make that block. State is trying to be a breakout player here for the Hammerheads. They're looking to kind of define themselves and take their first Rumble title. They've been doing great things with ET for a while. Those teeth, man, on the wall, just kind of vying with Doom for the ball. We send it over in the corner. It looks like that's going to be a goal, and immediately after that, Siggo comes in with the counter touch to assist their ally.
Oh, yeah. Starting off really good strong, and that's actually what that's what the Lynx did not want to let happen there, is let the Hammerhead start off strong.
Caught on the back foot.
But yeah, caught him on the back foot there, but it's only one goal. So you can't cement anything in stone yet here. Let's see if the Lynx are able to take early advantage as well and tie this game up as Siggo gets, instead of pinching the ball, gets pinched. The ball pinches him, and Pop is going to equalize this scoreline early.
The Lynxes are in a great mental spot. That is something coaches have been working with them in Esports Tower, not getting discouraged if the enemy gets an early lead. And they just demonstrated their clear heads. 4 minutes and 4 minutes and 3 seconds remaining, the score is tied up with Area kind of circling the bottom of the ball. Pops are going up to challenge them, but Area's going to end up with the touch, and Doom is just kind of like volleyball, going to send that all the way over to ET State. This ball doesn't look like it's touching the goal anytime soon as we kind of play around in midfield.
Pop looking to get a solo play here. Does get a flipper set. Isn't able to do anything about it. Does get a beat around State, actually. And Pop's going to have to make a turn here. Looking to beat Siggo. Doesn't quite get the beat, though, and gets demoed for it anyway. But now it's Dirty. Looking to get a flip over one, perhaps an air dribble. Looking to get around State. Doesn't get it at all. Now Siggo with the 50. Doesn't get the 50 at all, but State's quick follow up. And off the ceiling there, looking for the pass. Area at the shot, and State with the bump. I don't think Pop would have had the chance to get there in time, but the bump secured the goal nonetheless for the Hammerheads.
I think State has a cosmetic advantage on the field. I think the teeth and the bubble sounds, those just send shivers to the tips of the fingers there for the Lynxes here. Hammerheads up 2-1, 3 minutes remaining.
Intimidating shout.
Intimidating shout, yes. State is winning the mental game as we see them rotate over to Area. Area gets the first touch. Popsor immediately sends it back. Now Durkee is in possession of the ball. It looks like State's kind of trying to fight him for it. Gonna barely bump things over to Area. Gets the first touch, the second touch, and then now it is in Area's hands to put in the goal. Doom just goes barely over it. Doom says, what is this that I'm driving over right now? Oh, it's the ball in my goal.
Not able to turn quick enough on that crossbar there. Now Pop having to get a 50 here. Oh, and 6 in the perfect position here if they can get the pass around to State. Ooh, State. I don't know if that was a speed flip there, but perhaps they could have gotten it. Pop playing it around Area, gets the fake, but State's quick to follow up here. Getting one touch now off the ceiling here, looking to get a second. Does in fact get the pinch down. Doom's there to follow up here. Looking to get the beat on State, does in fact get it. Area now it's backward, looking to get the follow up, doesn't quite get it. Now State, air dribble potential here, gets one touch, looking for the second touch, getting the flip reset, gets it under one, but isn't quite able to make that.
That almost felt bad as Doom stopped what looks like a beautiful, the first touch, the second touch, the spinning. Very, very pleasing. As Area is going to kind of send that over to the middle. Durkee's going to pin it between himself and the crossbar there and then take possession of the ball. No, Sicko comes flying in with now 0 boost. Actually, now they're up to 92 as they're looking to make a play here. As Area's going to spike things down to Doom and Sicko's going to go chasing after that ball.
Sicko elevated. Area looking for the little bit of fake. Pop was able to make the defensive commit, and it's going to pay out, but State, once they get off the ceiling here, loving the ceiling plays right now, and Doom missing the chance. Oh, but it doesn't matter because the big clear is going to end up in the goal for the side of the Lynx, keeping this game within a tie and scoring position here for the side of the Lynx.
The kaleidoscope of Monarch Butterflies puts us at 3-2. A minute and 12 seconds remaining. Area flexing on him a little bit, does the full 360 turn before getting the second touch there as Sicko goes up the sidewall to bump it back to actually Doom. That's probably not who we wanted to pass that ball to. As Doom's gonna take it away and send it to Popasor. ET State stops it from being a completely open net and just lands there just in the nick of time for the Hammerheads.
State having to get a 50 here. Once again, just sort of back and forth here right now. Doom gets a bang over to the side of it. Area trying to slow it down. Doesn't get the touch over the side. Not able to beat Doom, but State is able to get it instead. One more touch. Pops to slow it down. State looking to get a pass out midfield. Doesn't quite get it out. Sick up to the midfield. Once again to Durkee. Oh, there might be a pass out to Doom. No, it is disrupted by Area's last 20 seconds wind down.
And it looks like ET State is just going to get the first touch, get the second, and the Popasor is immediately going to take it out from under him. As Doom is now in possession of the ball, sending things over to Durkee, but it's State that has rotated faster than we could watch and faster than Doom can prepare for. Gets the first touch. The second, it looks like ET State is going to go ahead and steal that. Durkee's just going to try to dribble it straight down midfield.
Wow.
And Sicko gets pinned to the back of the net. And that's another kaleidoscope of butterflies.
Big shout out to Doom there. If it wasn't for Doom getting the disrupt and the bump in the back of the net, that turns into such a harder goal.
Doom said, "You're coming with me."
You are not allowed to stop my teammate from scoring this goal right now and keeping it alive for them. But there's a shot by Area. It's just barely off, but Sicko's going to keep it in. Doom to get a really good pinch off the sidewall there. The backboard more like it. Now going to clear, looking for a secondary follow-up here. Area gets a shot on net, saved out by Durkee. Keep it inbounds on the orange side by Area. There is no immediate attack. Sicko to get the 50 with Doom. Once again, Area looking to close it out here. The ceiling play, one more touch off the backboard. Here's their follow. State blocked out by Popasor as it's slowed down by Sicko.
Looks like Durkee's going to send things down straight down main field. It looks like Area's there to get the touch, pass it over to Sicko, who has enough boost to just go after this ball, is where Area going to kind of State just launches themselves preemptively, a bit too excited there, but Sicko's going to go ahead and steal things away from the Lynxes. 3-3, 58 seconds remain, 59 seconds into overtime.
Ooh, a really big demo there. Leaves Sicko out of the play here. Durkee could be taking advantage, but the rotation, the demo actually helped Sicko as there was a triple commit. If that demo didn't happen, that might have been an easy open goal for the side of the Lynx and ended this first game out here. Now Area sent it over the backboard sidewall. State has to make a follow-up here, has all the time they need, trying to get it past Durkee. Does indeed get the 50 though. Now Pop getting one more 50, might make a cut on it. Doom The pass to Sicko. Sicko with the shot. Is there a save? Doom is able to get it. It's their second touch. Now State. Oh, the beat. This could be an open net, but there is no turnaround from an orange attacker, and it's a clear for the side of the Hammerheads.
We're almost going into round 2 and round 1 here in overtime. There's 48 seconds and climbing. No goal in sight as Area bounces things over to the left, gets the second touch, kind of sends it all the way up into the skybox, and then Doom gets a clear to midfield where State stops it and then sends it over into the corner. This is a triple commit by the Lynxes, and it ends up paying off for them. That Phoenix of Doom, ending our 2-minute and 3-second long overtime.
Wow, what a way to end it out there, and that's Doom closing it out for the team. And once again, Doom kind of coming in clutch. I'd really started to turn up the heat in the last series they were in. So, the Lynx look warm. They have.
They look warm.
Yeah, historically, speaking,
they
if you go back,
scarves,
they're warm. They're feeling it. And the Hammerheads, I don't know when the last time they played a match was. It probably has been a while, so they're probably feeling a little cold. So I'm expecting them to make a comeback here. The Lynx take the first game, but it's a best of 5 for a reason. We're here for the long haul and see who can take it back.
And I think the triple commit, when you're that much into overtime, right, it's very, very risky. So I want to particularly highlight it because in that instance, it really paid off for them. They're like, we're going to full team charge their goalpost, and they ended up scoring, and there wasn't anything that the defenders could really do to stop all 3 of them. Because at best, everyone on your team is taking the 1v1, right? And then you just kind of send it in. There was nobody back defending the goal, and if the enemy team had been able to defend, they probably would have been rewarded with a massive clear and a goal on the enemy side. So that's why a triple commit like that is very risky.
And
it paid off.
It would have ended out earlier for the Lynx as well if they wouldn't have got that demo on the Hammerheads player Sicko. They also triple committed as well.
If Doom hadn't took him in the wall, if Doom hadn't took that 1 goal in the wall, we wouldn't have went overtime in the first place.
That's very true. That's very true. Durkee might have a beat here now as Area getting to 50. Doesn't have to get to 50 at all, just instead gets the beat. Doom to play it down slow. There might be a shot potential there. There's no follow-up. Sicko's going to get the turn here, looking for one more. Gets it. Oh, just the miss coordination. State not able to get a good touch to put it on net here, and Durkee with a lot of momentum gets stopped out by Area.
It looks like Area is going to actually get that touch. Set up Sicko, who just gets there a little bit just barely before the defenders can do anything. That's a pretty early lead. 4 minutes and 26 seconds in, and the Hammerheads scoring their first goal. They're still in this.
But that happened the last time as well. Doom getting the second, not enough height. He's not able to get the goal conversion here. State with the shot. Is beat out Area in an awkward position here. It's going to have to make a touchdown to the side, to the corner piece here. Looking for one more. Ooh, isn't at the boost to follow up again. Doom, the shot might be perfect placement. Saved out by Sicko, though. And now Area looking for the clear. Not strong enough touch. As Dorothy's going to make the commit. Get it over to Doom. Doom now over to the blue corner as well. State. Oh! Wow.
Ooh, just barely a little bit too far to the left. Going to go ahead and bounce off that crossbar. Best goalie in Rocket League. It looks like State's currently in possession of the ball, looking to get it past Doom. Doom's going to kind of wait. Durkee's going to come in, get the touch all the way over there. Sicko currently in possession of the ball, going to get clear all the way back to main field, leading everybody on the Lynxes, chasing the ball back into their goal.
Good 50 potential there by Pop. Oh, that is dangerous, but it's completely denied out with the level 50s to happen here. Area trying to maintain control here. Down to State. Gets it a little bit too far over, but Sicko out of the shot. It is down. Saved up by Doom. Is State there to follow up? And it is. State barely able to tap it in and put the Hammerheads up 2-0 here. 3 minutes and 16 seconds left.
And it looks like State's going to, actually State and Doom are going to tie, and Area's going to come in and say the Hammerheads are taking this 50-50 up 2-0. 3 minutes and 8 seconds remaining here. State currently in possession of the ball. Durkee's going to go ahead and take that right in front of the goalpost. Not a better place to steal possession, honestly.
Yeah, definitely put yourself in a quite the pickle there. Pop's going to get this 100 boost here, but State off the backboard here. Isn't able to get anything. Doom trying to make the backboard defense. Going to have to do it again. Pop getting one touch off to the corner piece here. Two demos.
Durkee's just in a 1v3 situation here. As State's going to try to dribble it all the way into the goal. Unfortunately, Doom has respawned to stop him, and State gets the touch, but not the touch he was looking for. I think that's an accurate statement.
When you get a double demo like that, don't stop at the second there. And if you do have to stop at the second, go for something other than that's. It's just really unfortunate that State was not able to get the ball on top of their car, because if they would have, that's an easy flick over the last defender, and all of a sudden you go up one more goal and you're feeling a lot more confident. But they've just got to be absolutely demoralized now as 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in this game time here. It is still in a winnable position for the side of the Lynx as Pop gets one more touch. Bang, off the crossbar.
Just an area and State were waiting there, but didn't even need to touch it. And it looks like Sicko's going to get it clear all the way over to main field, straight to Papasaur, who's going to hip check that ball right into State, and then Durkee's going to go ahead and take it. The ball's passing hands almost faster than we can talk about it, as Doom's going to send it right into the net. That Phoenix is an omen at this point. A harbinger of doom.
Yeah, that's just...
The Lynx is tie things up, minute and 46 seconds remaining.
Doom is definitely the one to keep an eye on for the offensive talent for this team of Lynx as they tie it up with a minute, 30 seconds left. There might be shot by area. It's off the backboard. Is there followed by Sicko? Sicko almost getting a little bit of a coincidental pass to State. State's taking the time now off the sidewall here. Gets 50 out by Doom. Good pressure applied by the Lynx defense. Now Durkee trying to get it clear. Does get on the sidewall here. State played a little bit too far over. Now there's Durkee trying to play around one more. Doesn't quite get it with the pass back. Now to area. Getting the clear. State trying to contest. Does get one touch. Doom a little bit too far forward. Might be a touch by area. It's a little bit too soft. And Durkee's going to get the clear. And Sicko trying to have to get a beat. Does in fact get it.
Looks like State is currently in possession of the ball, going to dribble it all the way up into the skybox, gets that first touch, and then it hits the ground. And it looks like Durkee's going to go ahead and get the clear almost to mid, and then back. Sicko and Doom passing the ball right back and forth to each other, and then State's going to go ahead and take it, try to take it all the way in the net, but Papasaur says, no, you can't just walk in like that.
All right, area going to have to control off the sidewall here, getting one touch, second touch more as well. Is going to get tested out of there. Now it's up to Sicko here, gets one touch. Little bit of bad touch there. Now Sicko's down to the lower part of the field. Has to keep it level here. It's part Durkee. Or Durkee might have to get one. Now Sicko trying to get it over one, but Pop not going to fall for it here. Now area controlling the ball. It does get 50 State with another 50 as well. Durkee. That's actually Durkee as well. Trying to get over one. Now Pop gets one touch, looking for the second to clear the ball out. It's the final couple seconds, wind down. It looks like we're about to go to a game 2 overtime unless Sicko can get a shot on net. Oh, wow. And that's the Hammerheads gonna take this game up 1 point, but 1 second left. Could this be the chance of the Lynxes?
50-50. Durkee and Doom. Oh, they're going to go ahead and stop that. Lynxes are going to lose round 2. This is both teams tied up, and this is a best of 5. So really, all we've determined is that both of these teams won it, right?
Oh, yeah.
I anticipate seeing more overtime rounds as we complete this best of 5.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing, if there was something that was really apparent from game 1 and sometimes from game 2 mainly, is a lot of the times they get over pushed, right? And sort of that's for lack of better words in terms of the Hammerheads defense, is they either won in game 1, there was a lot of open goals that were left open. In game 2, Doom had one goal that was just really well placed, and there definitely are ways that we can counter that and beat that out inevitably, but that's in the past, so you can't have to look on that. But I think if the Hammerheads end up fixing a lot of their boost starving issues on the defensive side, going for pennies first off, and making sure you claim those back boosts, those big back pads for you. Those are the 2 biggest things to kind of beat the boost starving that the Lynx are doing to you. Even though it's so minimal, stealing one big pad can end up messing a whole rotation.
It's so minimal, just kind of how these games have been 1-goal games.
Yes, exactly. So I've yet to see any major issues from both sides that are like, you need to fix this. It's sort of one of those things if these teams are adapting as they go, and these players know exactly what they need to do more than anybody, more than us on the desk, really.
Ooh, Sicko's going to go ahead and steal that ball, kind of send it over to State, who gets the second touch. There's nobody over there to pass it to, except now Durkee, who's currently in possession of the ball. Going to kind of dribble it between himself and the sidewall, and then Area and Doom going up on the challenge on the sidewall. Area's going to go ahead and win that, and Sicko's going to come in and get the score. But we all know who got it there, and that's Area with the little assist.
That's the Lynx going up 1 goal here. Beating out the Hammerheads so early in this matchup.
Too far forward. So we're going to see who's going to win this next 50-50. And it looks like it's going to barely go the way of Sicko. And then Doom immediately comes after that. State leaves the net. Doom gets the first and second touch, but it just bounces too far back, and we get a massive clear. Sicko's going to take the ball all the way almost into the orange end zone here. We see Papasaur get the save as Sicko tries for the shot.
Area now getting one more look for the second. Doesn't quite get it, though. Now there might be a shot with opportunity by Doom. Saved up by Sicko, though. Is there a fallout from the side of the Hammerheads? There's not. Pop trying to get one more, a little bit double commit. Doom elevates, getting one touchdown. Area now having to play around State a little bit. 50'd out, there could be a shot. It is just a bit wide on the side of Doom. And Durkee trying to keep it in the side of the blue. Is able to do it at the 50 here in our State. A lot of pressure over here, trying to get a proper clear. Durkee to get one more clear, looking for the secondary follow-up. Doesn't have the boost nor the coordination to do it quite yet. State elevates with the pop. Pop was able to get one and get a good second touch on that ball. And now Sicken trying to recenter the ball. Does get a good 50, but it's not quite there.
Area dribbling the ball, gets the first touch, the second touch, and then State just goes a little bit too wide. Actually, no, it's Sicko! Ooh, but in the Papasaur was unable to, they were able to save the first shot, but not the second, and we see Sicko get the assist. You could see Doom just barely boop it. Papasaur boops it, and then just barely gets there a second too late to stop it from going in the second time around. Lynx is up 2, 3 minutes and 16 seconds remaining as Area wins this 50-50. And now it's just Area and Durkee versus Papasaur here. Papasaur dribbling on the wall, doing some fancy technical play there. We do see Durkee going to get the save as ET State just tries to roll it on in.
Pop trying to have to make a backboard defense there. A little bit of technicality on the side of it. Sides were swapped as well, if you caught on. The UI there was swapped, so if you were a little confused, that was just a little bit of headway there, but I imagine something to do with lobby settings or somebody has some ping issues, something like that. But video games and the internet, what can you do about it besides just go on and keep rolling, keep rocking? But I imagine this won't most likely I hope it doesn't mess with any team's momentum that they've gained. But even so, it's still a 1-to-1 series.
If it does, it's messing with both teams' momentum equally.
That's why it's a 1-to-1 series as well. So it's not like some team is really just carrying away with it, right? Nobody's at match point yet. There's still at least, sort of 2 more games to go with. Yes, Coley on the co-cast seat.
We actually did just get some information in here that the match is just going to be reset because of the technical difficulties. So, I mean, momentum is not killed for either team. We're back to square one.
Yeah, I think, that's probably the biggest thing is, and there really was no team. And I guess you could argue, the Hammerheads did win the last game, so it is in their favor. But nevertheless, just sort of look at it as a 0-0, mental reset here. These things happen. You've got to roll the punches, really.
And at this point, it's going to be up to which team can kind of adapt to that fully reset first. I would recommend stretching and touching some grass if you ever need to mentally reset.
Yes, touch some grass. I think we all can do a
Go
bit of
outside,
that.
dig through the snow, touch some grass. As State's going to send it all the way over to Sicko with a pass that's almost the width of the field there. Area!
What a
Papasaur
shot.
saved it, but what a shot! We see Sicko tearing up the turf, trying to get this ball within range of the goal, but immediately just getting bullied by the enemy team. We see State and Doom just go pop that ball, send it all the way midfield. Area gets the first touch, gets the second touch, but immediately after that, the Lynx is taken away.
There's Area with the big clear here. Now State's going to have to make a turn. I'm sorry, that was Durkee that got it. One touch off the sidewall here, looking for the pass out middle. Area's going to have to elevate, make the air roll shot, leave it out there. Not enough power, though, to really clear it, but the second time, maybe third time's the charm as Doom's going to elevate, get one touch. Keep it onto the side, though. Doesn't get quite good of a pass here. Now Durkee to send it around the corner here. State going to have to put some backboard defense. A little bit awkward here. Pop with the one down that could be shot by Doom. It is there, and it's good for one.
The Harbinger. We see the Phoenix yet again as our first goal on the board for the Lynxes. 3 minutes and 55 seconds remaining. What a shot! Sicko couldn't get there in time. Could just barely not fast enough. Phasing through the ball. Sees it through the driver's side window. Go in the goal.
A POV inside the car would be absolutely disgusting. Rocket League did it, and I would despise them for that. But Durkee trying to get the 50 there. Put it in net. Sigon in a little bit awkward position. Does get demoed out for it. A little bit back pass here. Pop able to make quite the quality touch for it. Now her State's turn. Does get 50'd out, but still left in the midfield here. There could be a follow-up. Sicko!
Ooh.
Making a quality read off the touch of, I believe,
State.
It was Durkee.
State kind of sends it in the middle, and then Durkee passes it. Sicko says, sure, I'll take the assistance, and sends it in, and just a puff of rainbow balloons. And off this next 50-50, we're 3 minutes and 33 seconds in, and both teams are tied. Sicko's going to massively win the 50-50, but Durkee stays in the back to kind of send things back to midfield. Area takes a stairway all the way to the skybox off screen, and then we see ET State kind of regain control of the ball, and there's nobody that can get there in time. ET State laser sighted that in all the way from 3/4 field.
Yeah, Doom
just
playing,
past everybody.
Doom playing a little bit too far up there. Isn't quite able to rotate back in time and is taking advantage for it. And this is Hammerheads going up 2-1. Still 3 minutes and 18 seconds left here. So still definitely a lot of game left to play. Doom, a little bit of pass out to Sicko. Now it's Durkee. Got to do something with it. Doom, maybe trying to get the bump there. Wasn't quite able to get it. State's going to be credit for the clear there. Pop going to have to play the second man position. Does get a quality touch here. Now Doom trying to get the beat there. Doesn't quite get it. Durkee looking for the elevate. Decides to commit off of it though.
Pops are just waiting in the goal. They got their save there. Ooh, and it looks like the Hammerheads just barely went over that touch there, and now Sicko's going to send that ball up into the air. It's up to State to go after it, but instead it's going to be diverted, and State doesn't get the touch, but Area sure does, hitting it off the crossbar, setting State up for a touch. They choose to back off and just kind of reset all the way back to the blue goal as no, actually, they get a massive clear, and now Area's in the orange end zone, and Papasaur and Sicko are racing to get to that ball first.
Getting down to those last 2 minutes. Area controls it one time here. Doom does get the little bit of a pre-jump here, setting out the middle.
Ooh, what a setup. If only State didn't save that. That was such a nice setup for somebody to come in. We see Durkee kind of bouncing things back and forth. Papasaur misses the shot just a little bit too far to the left. 2 minutes and 1 second remaining. Hammerheads up 2 to Lynx's 1.
Doom is definitely regretting that shot being just a bit too wide here. Now State trying to make something happen here. Does get one touch here. Sicko there to follow it up. 3-1 with the minute 41 seconds left here. A really good kind of redirect here by State. We'll get to see that last touch,
Sicko sends it over Durkee. Papasaur just chasing the ball into their own goal, just barely can't touch it. It's a game of keep away that Sicko went in their favor. Looks like Papasaur is going to win the next 50-50. Bounce it back and forth between Doom. Area going up the wall to challenge that. Actually not going to be able to get the touch. And then Papasaur. Ooh! Doom's able to get back there in time. 100-0 boost to make that save.
Definitely completely 100% worth it. They'd make that trade any day. Now Doom getting one stuff touch down. Does get booped off. Wasn't able to quite get something, but might have something here as it's just going to go straight down. That might be the fall. There was the attempt, but Doom was sort of bumped. Messed up the teammate's read as well. Durkee not able to get the quality flip there, and there goes by a blue attacker trying to convert that goal in there. State to get a soft touch down to Doom. Doom to control it one more time, getting a 50 here. Area looking for the bump, doesn't quite get it. Doom getting 50'd out, leaves it for Sick. Sick gets one good touch. Is there a follow-up? There is by Durkee. Doom quick to follow up, does get beat up by State. Now it's up to Pop, getting one stuff touch down and around. Sick getting one demo. Might leave an opening for the Hammerheads here.
And it looks like Doom is going to kind of pass it back to Durkee. Durkee has to press reverse. And that time gives Area time to steal the ball and almost make a shot before Papasaur just takes the ball off the top of their car.
State really being a menace here on this ball, sticking around, being a nuisance here. Gets one touchdown, messing up Doom a little bit here. Pop not able to quite make the read. Durkee's going to have to make a touch over to the side here, keep control with 20 seconds here. Something's going to have to happen as State gets one touch and slows the ball down just enough. They're really just killing time here, and they're playing it perfectly as the ball goes middle. Area not quite makes a touch. Now Sick with one more getting 50'd out as the final couple of seconds last down here. Oh, it's State getting a beautiful fake on 2 of the Lynx defenders, and it looks like the Hammerheads are going to go into match point and push it to game 4.
So I think the biggest thing here is there's lots of touches where people are just barely, I touched on it a little bit before, but both teams seem to be having this problem, so I think it's worth a little bit mentioning. the ball, when you think a ball is going to go into your goal, you need to be there already, not be rotating from half field, desperately using all of your boost to try to get there. You need to anticipate when the enemy is in the position to make a goal and then already be rotating back. But you don't want all three members to do that, because then that absolutely kills your offense and just gives them the opportunity to just come at you with everything they have for free. Somebody just needs to be like, I got my goalie gloves on. I'll be in the backfield if anybody needs me.
I think there is the counter argument of you can get those rotations in timing. I think, yes, it is 80% of the time a good general practice to be there in the defensive half while the ball is being shot in your net. I think there are some moments that the Lynx got caught off guard, but if they manage to adjust and redirect their attention towards their rotations a little bit stronger, they could end up tying up the series here and push it to a game 5. But the Hammerheads on the opposite side are looking to end this out here. Sick is looking for a double touch.
Both touches!
Bang! Setting the precedence for how they want this game to go. Beautiful double touch play by Sick.
Area was credited for the assist. And they were there to assist, don't get me wrong, but I think Sicko was their own hero with that play, getting the second touch immediately off of the back wall. Sicko! Them's fighting words. 1-0, 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining.
Doom makes a smart choice of not going there. A little bit of double commit from the side of the Lynx is here. Dorothy is going to elevate, get one touchdown, but gives up possession a little bit as Sick now off the ceiling, looking to replicate what happened just 20 seconds ago. The ceiling shot is saved out by Pop.
Papasaur says absolutely not. I just watched you do it. I know you can. I'm not going to let you this time. And that ball almost goes, bounces off of both of the defenders on the way in. Papasaur styling on the Hammerheads for that one.
A really good follow-up on both these plays here. Doom gets the perfect beat over State and just lets Pop do whatever he wants with that fake there. And a double commit in net, and you still get scored on. It's definitely got to be morally destroying, but it looks like Sick still attempting to put the goal line, put the goal scorer favor back in their side, as Aries going to get 50 on the blue half here. Sick getting one touch here, looking to get around Doom, does in fact get it. Two orange defenders are rotating back in net. Pop trying to get the read, does get a beautiful read on it, now elevates one more time, looking for the pass out mid, but nobody's there to receive that pass.
And it looks like Area is going to go up the sidewall. Doom currently in possession of the ball, bouncing it back between State. State is just trying to contest this right now. Sicko just barely not able to get the verticality that they need to go in there, and Area is going to pop that up, and Papasaur says, let me just hit that with my back couple of tires to disrupt you here. But Papasaur's disruption was not enough. You could see Papasaur was running between that whole pass, right? But just didn't have the boost to get up there. Didn't jump high enough, didn't go fast enough, and so the Hammerheads are going to go 2-1, 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. But lots of Rocket League left to play.
Oh yeah, a bunch of Rocket League left to play. You're never really out of anything here. On the side of the Hammerheads, you've got to stay on the gas pedal. You've got to find a way as Dirty takes a shot, but it's saved by Area. Definitely the goalie MVP right now in that moment, feeling on top of the world here. Doom's going to get the clear here, but Sick to stay on it. Durkee quick to follow up here. He's Area by the self-pass, looking for one more. Does in fact get the 50. Sick looking to follow up. One more touch, a big bang off the corner piece here, looking for a pass. Doom is there to disrupt it. State made the early commit. Now it's up to Area, gets one really good 50 here. Pop is elevated, looking to get one off the backboard here. The corner piece, there could be the follow-up. It is not. State's going to get the catch here. Has little momentum, looking for air dual bump, and is not going to be able to get it. As Dirty's going to be credited for the save, but now Area, not able to get the secondary touch off the backboard there and set it up.
Lots of car control, though. State and Area, what fantastic jobs managing to keep that ball on top of their car for that long. Area bounces it off the back wall. Will they be able to get the second touch? Sicko comes in to get it, but the Papasaur is going to be credited for that save as we get him, as the Lynxes now have the opportunity to go on the offensive. Doom takes the stairway to heaven and takes the ball with him up into the skybox, and then Sicko immediately steals it from Papasaur as soon as it hits the ground.
Dorothy trying to get it clear here. Is able to make up for it as Doom's going to get one good touch up to him. Doom with the shot on net is saved out by Aries. There's not enough boost to follow it up. Doom and Dirty have 100 boost here. Pop has 0, but there's a shot on net
Nobody
by
was back
State.
there.
Doesn't matter how much boost you have. If you have an open net and State's going to take a shot, there's no point.
That's the second laser shot
Yeah.
that State has made from 3/4 of the field. And part of that is an empty net, but part of that is also just State's incredible accuracy in shooting those shots. We see Popstor win the 50-50, and then it immediately goes over to State, who passes it up to Sicko on the sidewall there. It looks like the ball has kind of rotated back to midfield. Now it's State up on the sidewall, taking the ceiling, bouncing that ball, rotating it all the way over to Sicko, right past their goal. State playing around the world, ring around the rosy with this ball right now.
Honestly, that's a decent strategy they got right now. Oh, and Erie getting a really good bump. Takes an ET Lynx attacker away from clearing that ball here. Now here's State with the rebuttal. Now Sicko to follow up. Fakes the commit a little bit. Now State still on the ball. Doom is going to get over Erie here. Six going to have to slow it down a bit here. Dodging the demo as well. Gets a really good pin. Sends it back over to the orange half here. Dirty not able to quite make the read. Now Stay off the backward as they're followed by Area. There was a shot attempt, but it's just a bit too wide here. Now Doom looking for a flick. Gets beat up by Sick, not letting the ball go over and play the selfish first man here. Pop with a shot. Bang! Minute, 2 seconds left here. It's going to keep this game within a 1-point lead.
Pop with the shot, Durkee with the setup. We see Durkee just kind of pass it off and begin rotating back. Full faith in their teammates as Pop takes that shot.
Give credit back to the Doom as well for getting that bump on the State. State might have had a chance to save it.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, this could be the equalizer.
Pop! Just barely going to bounce too much, go wide on the crossbar. Pop! What an awesome shot, but what happened? And then we kind of see the ball kind of go over. Durkee kind of Pop now back in possession. Maybe this is the time for Lynxes to do something. 42 seconds remaining. They don't have to rush. They have time to set up to tie.
Do not get panicky here. Do not get on your own nerves, and do not start to feel like I have to be the savior here. But State is going to be reversing those roles and putting the Hammerheads up 2 goals here. They've got their safety net back.
That applies a little bit of pressure. That applies
now
15 seconds of goal pressure.
Yeah, you have a lot of pressure on here now, but sort of going back to what I was saying, don't let that sort of crumble you. Don't let that, because a lot of players get into the mentality of I've got to be the savior here, and while you definitely got to have that mentality here, nevertheless, do not let that consume you.
You're not the only one on the field.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to rely on everybody else to get you there. And it looks like Sicko's going to take things into the corner. Durkee's going to steal that ball. We just see those two move for move, almost just battling right next to each other. Area laying in wait as we go into the final 5 seconds here. Durkee's trying to keep it in the air, trying to pass it back to Doom, who's going to score in the final 2 seconds. This has got to be a kickoff goal.
This has got to be a kickoff goal here. If there was a time for me to tell you to triple commit, it was now.
It's now, yeah.
But it was 8 seconds ago. Durkee was there to try and make a touch, but decided to decommit. I feel like there you just have to get a 50 and play it off. And this is final 1 second. It's going to be kept up in the air by State. Durkee's going to have to get a touch here. State to follow up in the middle here. Pop's going to pop it up one more time. State to get one more.
Doom keeping the dream alive. Area comes back, and then it touches the ground just inches from a car hood. And the Hammerheads are going to end up taking that home.
The Hammerheads are your Esports Tower Rumble champions of this week. Congratulations to the Hammerheads and everyone who was on the team, and good congratulations and GGs to everyone who participated in this week's Rumble. But we want to be seen by extra college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers. Then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights with our featured Rumbles, recruiters, and are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Hey, playing video games while going to college doesn't sound too bad, right? So go ahead and check them out at esportstower.com. You see it there on the screen. I said it to you verbally. You know what to do. Wow, what a matchup, honestly.
I want to particularly highlight the Lynxes. Though they ended up losing by a single point, I think they did one thing very importantly that, just like you pointed out, if they had done it sooner, I think they could have tied things up, because this was not a blowout. This was very winnable for either team. Like a couple of different plays, a couple of different 50s, and the Lynxes could have came out on top instead of the Hammerheads. And the thing that they did really well is there was a point where they realized, they're like, we're 2 down, and there's 30 seconds remaining. We don't have time. to mount a defense. We need a goal every 15 seconds, and to do that, our best bet is having all 3 people charge the net. And they got one of the goals they needed within the final 2 seconds, turning every game tonight between these two teams into a 1-goal game.
Yeah, they did amount that offensive, and I mean the thing I really love is as we'll get, and we'll follow this into the conversation of player of the game as well, because I want to highlight Doom. I think Doom was not only the offensive just categorical beast for for the wow.
So Doom was an amazing player,
Yes,
not just in terms of offensive capability, because they definitely did that to the point where the Phoenix kind of became the symbol there for Doom's team, right? It became emblematic of a goal being scored. But Doom also was most frequently the one to rotate back and stop goals. So Doom is our first option for player of the game, and I think Colin and I are unanimously like, yep, there it is, number 1.
Yeah, I think it's honestly Doom here, because Doom was, as before I got rudely interrupted by my cough. And not only on an offense capability, but defensively as well, and also as a support role in the fact of there's at least 3 goals I can think of off the top of my head where Doom had a direct impact to play because of the fact they got the bumps as well. And then there was area as well that was on the other side of the field as well that
State.
I counted out from I called out from the beginning as well of being a standout player. And once again, I also said this combo was nasty. Having Erie and State following off of each other really well. It was a no-brainer that this team was very strong.
State with the State's not playing Rocket League. State's playing a first-person shooter with a sniper rifle, getting those 2 goals from 3 quarters back, almost in the enemy team's end zone. State says, "Let me just turn my car a little bit and send it."
Sometimes that's all you got to do, you know. They say getting up possession is a bad thing, but it worked out. It worked out, especially when there's an open net. But we're going to go ahead and see who the player of the game it is. Doom. Exactly. We love to see it. Definitely a highlight player, honestly, in the aspect of being the sort of being the poster player and getting all the goals, but also just being a great defensive and rotational person as well, but also as a support player getting plenty of demos and bumps. So it goes out to Doom. And tonight's player of the game is brought to you by Esports Tower. Want to hone your skills, improve what you had to take to play at the next level? Head over to esportstower.com and sign up to be part of the action. Doom is your esports player of the game of this series. Even though they did not win it all, you won the Esports Tower player of the game. So take pride in that.
Bounces it off the ceiling. Doom comes in, just waiting midfield, sends it. Papasaur once again bounces it. You see Doom go in. The power, the poise, the presence, the determination. There was nothing Sicko could do to stop that Phoenix from flying across the pitch.
It's why they won the player of the game. They were a deadly offensive player, and I give them all the credit for it. But any final thoughts before we close out?
One of Doc's keys is to punish the double commits.
Yes.
But there are times where, even though it's risky, there are times where you would like to double or triple commit, and we saw a couple of them by the Lynxes. And then the other big thing that I want to talk about is when we saw amazing triple commits that ended up winning the Lynxes rounds, or at least getting them closer to winning rounds, but we also saw exactly why you can't always do that and why you need to read each situation, because we would see Doom make shots from 3 quarters across the field into an empty net. So it's really just a case-by-case situation, and flexing those mental muscles and deciding when everybody needs to go in and when somebody needs to rotate back is integral to becoming champions in the grand finals.
Oh yeah, I think that game was definitely a micro game. I think it came down to micro decisions of just split-second decisions of things that happen that inevitably change the course of the actions that you make that change the way the game is played. But it was beautiful casting the series with you. It was beautiful once again being on the desk with you again. But as we close out, we're going to leave you with the top 5 plays of the game, which is brought to you by, and we also want to give a big takeaway and a big congratulations to our other team on a fantastic night of RL. the Hammer, the Stingrays, they claimed the title and are hoping to be the first of many. Make sure to join us next Wednesday at 6 p.m. EST as we kick off our brand new Rumble with the fresh title on the line. We'll close out with the top 5. Sponsored by Esports Tower. Want to improve your game sense to take your skills to the next level? Sign up at esportstower.com. Signups are available, and join our free starter club at Rocket League and start improving your skills now. Head over to esportstower.com. We'll leave you at the top 5. Have a great rest of your night. Peace.
For the Hammerheads, they're looking to kind of define themselves and take their first Rumble title. They've been doing great things with ET for a while. Those teeth, man, on the wall, just kind of vying with Doom for the ball. We send it over in the corner. It looks like that's going to be a goal, and immediately after that, Siggo comes in with the counter touch to assist there. Off screen, and then we see ET State kind of regain control of the ball, and there's nobody that can get there in time. ET State laser sighted that in all the way from 3/4 field.
Yeah, Doom
just
playing,
past everybody.
Doom playing a little bit, but the Hammerheads on the opposite side are looking to end this out here. It's Sick is looking for a double touch.
Both touches!
Bang! Setting the precedence for how they want this game to go. Beautiful double touch play by Sick.
Area was credited for the assist, and they were there to assist, don't get me wrong, but I think Sicko was their own hero with that sidewall. Doom's gonna pop it up back in the air. This ball's just kind of like popcorn, touching the ground, then goes back up every couple of seconds.
I'd love to see a much more committed attempt. Oh, Lee gets a little bit of perfect bump. I have the
Crossy! Oh, Crossy wins the first one.
Beautiful read there by Bleed. Honestly, one more looking for the flip reset. Gets stopped by Gababy. I mean, you have the lead. I guess that's okay, but if you get scored on, that's definitely on Gababy there. And now State has the chance to show it up. Looking for a pass to Arian. There it is. Just what I was talking about. Arian's a beautiful redirect. Puts it bottom right, Vince.